What's going on, faithful? It's your boy Wayne Breezie, and the 49ers are 9-4. We're going to talk about how they demolished the Cleveland Browns at home in inclement weather, and Brock Purdy is back. We got a lot. And when I say a lot, we got a lot to discuss, including special teams. This team is special. They're winning by any means necessary. Stick around, smash that like button, and subscribe to the damn channel. Let's go. What's going on, 49er faithful? We are touching down right now, day after the massacre in Cleveland. That's right, the 49ers, man, they definitely did what they came to do. You can see the title of the show, Get At Me, Dog. They showed up. They were dogs all over the football field, offensively. They were dogs, but they weren't the big dogs offensively. Defensively, though, we're going to talk about the type of dog they were defensively. I mean, it's a right? And then special teams showed up again. Welcome to the show, faithful. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here on this Monday afternoon. Got the Breezy Bunch crew in the building. We're going to do some early show shout outs because we're a live show. I'm going to shout out the members, because that's who they are. They get shout outs. So if you want a shout out, become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. You could do that by just clicking on that join button. Don't forget, guys, smash that like button if this is your first time watching the show and YouTube just happened to recommend you. Like, who the hell is this? What the hell is this? This is a 49ers show, all right? And we talk about the 49ers here on the Wayne Breezy Show, as well as other sports topics, but mainly we stick to the Niners. All right, so definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. And again, you can become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew by just clicking on join for the low. It's the holiday season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. Make sure you give a gift of a membership. It'll be really cool for other members to take advantage of some of the cool perks that we got going on. Shout out to everybody listening to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify podcasts and all that stuff. I appreciate your love, your support. It's been real. We got 29, 30 more days to the new year. Isn't that crazy? 24 days to Christmas, 30 days to New Year's. Wow, it's December 1st. Oh my gosh, it just hit me. Right? So yeah, we in here, and shout out to our sponsors over at Residency. You can support here as well. You go to www.residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy. It's right there, right? So you just, use that promo code and you could save on your purchase. So you could take advantage of the sales that they got going on and you could save even more money. And for those that want the exclusive content, I'm talking 49ers watch parties, exclusive film breakdowns, and stuff like that. You got to go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/TheWayneBreezy. Better perks over there for sure. And so check them out, man. I like creating film videos. I'm going to catch up on all my film stuff this week, being that this is an off week. The Niners made it to 9-4 for their bye week. What a story. I can't wait we're going to talk about this, right? Because the Niners are literally 9-4 during the entering their bye week, week 14. One of the Niners and I think the Patriots. I'm not sure if there are any other teams with a week 14 bye, but man, go figure. 9-4, Patriots 10-2. Wow, right? And so good week to get a bye week. Good week to get players back healthy. We could talk about some of those players we're expecting to get back, but definitely make sure you support on all the channels. We got the apparel over on the website twben.com/shop. All right, so you can get apparel there as well as the shops right here on the YouTube feed. All right, so let's get to it, man. 28-9. How you feeling out there? Today is Victory Monday, faithful. So I'm going to do some shout outs, but I want you to put in the chat, the live show, how you feeling right now on another Victory Monday. Let's do it, all right? Shout out to Brock Purdy's toe. Can't wait for the show. Hope you're still in here, man. Appreciate you, fam. I can't wait to talk to you, right? That's what I'm here for. Don't bother me with the hashtag #NinerFaithful. What up, faithful? Victory Monday show. It's nothing like a Victory Monday show, right? You know what I loved yesterday? We only heard it 3 times, but touchdown! Man, it's nothing like hearing that touchdown victory chant, right? Like, it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Boats, 1980 in the building, man. He also said, what a win. Our 49ers now have between an 88 to 93% chance of making the playoffs after this win, right? Now, look, the magic number is 10, and the Niners are one away from that magic number. So we could talk about that. So the magic number is 10, and the Niners are one away from that magic number. 10, they're getting in, right? 11, oh, we cruising. 12, good luck. And why do I got a feeling the Niners are going to go 13-4, which would be my season prediction? If we go 13-4, I'm knocking cats out. Real talk. You feel me? If we don't go 13-4, okay, it's cool. We missing some folk. You know what I'm saying? We missing some folk. Brock Purdy Toe says, we ready. We ready. We ready. You know the rest. All right? Yeah, let's go. Stephanie Neal, 3276 in the building. That sound like, yeah, 32. I don't know. YouTube making up numbers. Anyway, good morning, Favo. Feeling good on this Victory Monday. I like that. It feels good on you're on your Tony stuff right now. 49er Jeff Victory Monday. What's good? Brandy in the building. Hey, Breezie and Favo. Congrats on the win. Shout out to my girl, Brandy. You are amazing, and your team is probably going to get their ass whipped tonight by the Giants. I just got a funny feel because the Giants play the Patriots like no other. All right. Here's the perfect prime example. I know you're going to be mad, and it's okay. I'm just a realist. The Chiefs own the Niners like the Giants own the Patriots. Tell me if I'm wrong. Put it in the chat. Let me know if I'm wrong. But that's a great correlation, right? Because we can't stand the Chiefs, just like you can't stand the Giants. We can't stand the Giants neither because we go way, way, way back. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, too, man. Shout out to you guys over on Facebook, X as well. Alejandro, what's going on, baby? I see you out there, man. It says my mic volume is low. Oh, you waited all this time to tell me that my mic volume was low. No problem. I'm about to turn it up. So get ready. We about to be on our bus. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Bam, bam. Now it's louder. I know it's louder. See, what happens is Bleacher Report settings change my whole settings. I could have swore last night before I got into bed I changed my settings back. But I didn't. Niner Faithful, let me know if the mic volume is back. All right? Let me know if the mic volume is back. Now, T-Jack, you my dog, right? I ain't going to give you no shout-out because you're not going to come in my chat with this Ohio State bull, right? Now, look, we weren't even supposed to. It wasn't even supposed to be a game, and it wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be a game. Y'all supposed to win. Y'all knew that. Y'all the best team in the country, all right? So kudos to being the best team in the country. That's all you're going to get from me. All right. So enjoy it. You enjoy it. Enjoy it. Jack Knox in the building. She's gifting memberships. Ooh, we baby. Am I super loud now? You told me to turn it up and bam, it came through your screen like, oh, snap. My voice is Busta Rhymes animation level all the time. So when you don't hear that, it's a problem. All right. Shout out to Jack Knox. Thank you for gifting the memberships. I'm not sure who these went to. So if you became a member under Jack Knox, as well as Nigel, shout out to Nigel as well. Appreciate the gifts, man. You guys are giving. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Eddie G and the B-Dogs, 33 months. Can somebody stand up and give this man a round of applause? 33 months. He's been rocking with your boy. Happy holidays, faithful. Happy Victory Monday. That's right, man. We entering that season, baby. I love it. Best, most wonderful time of the year. Tanisha, good morning, Breezy Bunch. Happy Victory Monday. Look at the fact that the members are in here is amazing. You guys ride with me. I love it. What's up, Breezy? What's good, Big Daddy Niners? You know what I'm saying? Miss Peachy in the building. Look, she's telling y'all, shout out to Peachy, become a member now, right? Like now. No ifs, ands, nor buts. That's all you got to do. Bell, feeling great. I love it. It feels good. It definitely does. It definitely does. It definitely feels good, especially when you're watching Dougie. When you're watching Brock do the Dougie. It was a half Dougie. It was there though. Oh, teach me how to Dougie. TGT. Oh. It was there. He gave us a glimpse, and I loved it. I loved the glimpse because I feel Brock doesn't feel satisfied, right? Brock doesn't feel satisfied. I love it. Brock doesn't feel satisfied. Not at all. And I know because even in his performance, I don't think it was great, but it was definitely a hell of a lot better than it was the week prior. Brock played really good football. Brock played good football last week, the week before. His only issue was turning the ball over. Brock fixed that. And I didn't think we played an efficient game of football. I thought the game plan would have been an efficient game of football, and it wasn't that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it is crazy. Jax, hey, Wayne, favorite football as well. I feel damn good. We got the dub. I like that. Everybody's feeling damn good right now. Turn your phone up. Mic is fine. Turn my phone up. Mic is fine. Phone, mic. Just following the chat. Mic volume, great. All right. 19 months, Big Daddy Niners. Half a game away from first place. All right, so let's talk about where the Niners actually stand. And I know people are going to be like, yo, we 9-4. Yeah, but we're still a wild card team, right? So even at 9-4, the San Francisco 49ers are a wild card team. Now, as far as the seeding, it sounds like they're still the 7th seed, right? Right? Because you got, when you look at the seeding, it's the top teams from the division, okay? And then you got to go Seahawks because they're 9-3. Because, and here's the thing, right? Minnesota had one job, and Minnesota's job was literally to find a way to beat the Seahawks. And Minnesota just didn't show up. I mean, I know who was their quarterback? Brower, Rockaruku. I don't know. He sucks. And he's not even as good as J.J. McCarthy. And period, everybody, J.J. McCarthy sucks too, right? And so I'm just like, man, all they got to do is just show up, man, and play the defensive style of football that we're normally used to seeing Minnesota play. And they ain't even show up defensively. They let Seattle beat them. So because of that, Seattle moves to 9-3. So Seattle stays as the top wild card spot, right? So they kind of like the 5th seed. And then Green Bay winning. That hurts. So you had Green Bay and Chicago winning on Thanksgiving. That really hurt a lot, right? I don't think they were supposed to win. I didn't pick those two teams to win. I'm going to be honest. But because they won, it's making the Niners situation a little bit tougher, right? So, like, the Niners got to win. They got to win out. You know what I mean? They got to win out. And the Niners got to win out. And it is what it is. You know, can they lose a game? You know, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they gotta find a way to win out. Ty, what's going on, baby? Shout out to all the moderators out there, too. If you got a wrench by your name, I love y'all. I do. Ty, more than a moderator, runs the apparel for the company and stuff and creates designs and all that stuff. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, look, it won't let me stream in no other mode, bro. I got to stream in portrait and whatever. Welcome to StreamYard. They on some new-ish right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Thomas says Minnesota quarterback kept throwing the damn ball high. Yeah, every pass was bad. And look, at this point, man, J.J. McCarthy would have been better. I think he would have gave them a better chance. And he not good. I know GSU. I don't know why GSU for Life shows up to my shows, but he always shows up to my shows. And he shows up to let me, to be a reminder. Be a reminder. I see you, bro. I see you, fam. Matthew, what's going on, baby? He says, we have to beat the Hawks. So, like, you know what? You're right. Because, A, you got to beat them for the simple fact that they're your rival, right? And so you got to beat them. You know, we only lost one game in the division so far. We swept the Cardinals, and we could sweep the Seahawks. I think the Niners match up well against the Seahawks. I thought the Niners kind of played weird against the Rams that second time. And that's just in my opinion. I still felt like the Niners had an opportunity to win. You just watched the Panthers destroy the Rams, a team we beat prior on that Monday night. And then they came out. And remember, if you watch my shows, my issue with the Panthers were they're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right? So 1 week, they're on fire. The next week, they suck. The next week, they're on fire. They literally are going back and forth every single week. And remember, before us, what did they do? They won the game. They put up 30-plus points. What did they do against us? They sucked. We gave up 9 points to the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. And then this week, what they score? Over 30-plus points, right? And so that's the Panthers. Those are who the Panthers are. Then the Niners beat that team, and the Rams fell short. Now, we won't see the Rams probably again to the playoffs, but maybe the Rams, man, maybe they aren't who they thought they were, right? Because dominant teams are supposed to win games, period. The Niners are a different type of team. That's why I'm here, man. I want to talk about how the Niners are just a different type of team. They're different. And that, to me, is more scary than any other team you face. I don't think there's especially in the NFC or even in the NFL this year, I don't think there is a full dominant team. I don't think there's a full dominant team. I don't think there's a complete team with a high-power offense, a super strong defense. We saw that, last year with the Eagles. There's not a complete team. And then the top of the cake is special teams where, you're not getting that. Not this year. I don't think there's a complete team in the NFL. That's just my opinion. But I do like what I'm seeing from the San Francisco 49ers because we already know how many injuries we got on the season. Anybody keeping tally? I feel like it's almost 100, right? It's got to be close to 100. And I'm talking about just injuries, and then you got several players. I was keeping tabs at one point, and then it just got way out of hand. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not doing this. I was keeping tabs at one point. But the Niners got several injuries. I could be exaggerating, but you know what I mean. And they got several players that are missing, several key players that are missing for the season. And so they're finding ways to win. They're finding ways to win. That, to me, is more scary than any other team. And this team may just be that much more dangerous as a wild card team opposed to a team that wins the division. Now, I want the Niners to win the division. I do. Don't get it twisted. I want the Niners to win the division. I think people will be like, what the hell is Breezie talking about? I want the Niners to win the division. Hell yeah, I do. But I'm okay if they the road team because I think the Niners play better on the road, man. I think they show up on the road. I think they get together on the road. I think they band together on the road. I just think they execute better on the road. Let me know what you think. But that's what I think. I think they play better on the road. Call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but let's get into this next topic because we're going to talk about the game. We're going to recap the game for sure. But I want to talk about what's popping right now in the news because last week, Juwan Jennings got punched in the nards, right? Got hit, right? And then he went berserk. He went commando, no pun intended, on the Carolina Panthers, clearly trying to get back at Morag, right? So this week, we didn't see any of that. We didn't see any of that type of behavior. But apparently, you got some players on the opposing team, and I'm going to say there's a couple of players on the defense, and I'll call them out. Shelby Harris being the first one, calling my man Juwan Jennings a hoe. Now, I don't know what he said, and I don't even care. It's football. Stop being a little... You got to stop. At some point, part of the game... I'm trying to figure out where today's players, they're just different. And I don't know what Juwan Jennings said. And at this point, I don't even really give two flying to what Juwan Jennings said, right? I don't. But this is football. And part of the game isn't just physical, it's mental. I grew up in the era with Michael Jordan. Let me just say this. I grew up in the era with Michael Jordan. And in football, I grew up in the era of Lawrence Taylor's. Those are my eras, right? And Ronnie Lott. But Ronnie Lott wasn't much of a talker. But Lawrence Taylor talks, yeah, right? So I grew up in them eras. And you could say Deion Sanders a little bit later, another trash talker. I can't even imagine some of the stuff they said back then to get into your head. Shelby Harris, this is my message to Shelby. Your ass was bent over on the ground, grasping for air at least twice. You slowed the game down 2 times. Get your fat ass in shape, dog. If you gonna play football and complain about what another man is saying to you, and you as a non-motherfucking factor on your team, man, shut the fuck up. I don't understand why you even brought that to light. If he didn't hit you, if he didn't touch you, if he didn't spit on you, why you disrespect it? I grew up in the era where they said sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, they'll never hurt me. Somehow that's gone. And now I'm not saying that makes sense, because I don't think that makes sense, because words be hurting. But come on, man, you gotta know that this is a game where cats trying to get in your mental, bro. And you a defender. You should be the one talking the shit. And then you got Myles Garrett. And let me just tell you about my Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? He was not washed by the time I was watching football. Trust me. I watched Lawrence Taylor injure some things. Anyway, let me just say this, right? I respect people and their goody two-shoeness for sure. But Myles, bruh, you got upset because you said that the quarterback, was it Mason Rudolph, called you the N-word. Like, you stomped on this cat. You literally took your cleat and literally mud stomped on him. Like, oh. I don't know. Me, biblically, man, I go back to, I'm a Bible guy, right? Man, he who has no sin, let them cast the first stone. Myles, shut the fuck up too, bro. Like, you got one sack in a game, you know what I'm saying? And you pretty much was a non-motherfucking factor too. I'm going to tell you, because the Niners put up, you know, they put up some points. So the defense for the Cleveland was non-factor. And I know, because I got y'all defense in fantasy football, and I don't even want to know how many points I got, because y'all ain't do shit. But at the end of the day, I'll give you your credit on your one sack from Trent Williams at the end of the game, toward the end of the game. But, bro, like, these just words, man. Y'all mad because Juwan Jennings getting underneath y'all skin? I don't know. He didn't just use his helmet, bro. That cat stomped on him, hit him with the helmet, like, literally tried to kill the quarterback. I want to say it was Mason Rudolph. I probably got the quarterback wrong. But for Shelby Harris, who was bent over, huffing for breath, and stopped the game twice, bruh, just be happy you got out the game alive and you lived to see the next day to play another game. I don't get it, man. I just know that football is different. I know that today's players are different. And I know that just by teaching. I knew you had to, you can't say certain stuff, but now I'm a teacher. Now, if it was Kyle Shanahan saying stuff to the player, that's different. You're talking player versus player, bro. How about you as a defender, you go out and shut him up? But you couldn't stop him. You couldn't stop Juwan Jennings. Because Juwan Jennings got a touchdown on that ass. So, like, I'm trying to understand what's going on. Like, are y'all really trying to make Juwan Jennings this bad person? And if so, cool. Like, look, hey, JJ. Cool, I got my shirt on, too. Hey, JJ, if you got to be the villain, dog, be the villain. Embrace that shit. Embrace it, bro. Talk trash every single chance you get. And if you get underneath the skin of non-motherfucking facting players, like defensive linemen that aren't even covering you, job well done. I give JJ a round of applause. I'm sorry I went on a rant, but it would have been right, because you see why he got hit you see why he got punched in the nuts. He's a hoe. I'm paraphrasing everything he said, and you surprised that he didn't get punched in the jaw? Why you ain't punch him in the jaw? If what he said was that bad and you a man, why you ain't punch him in the jaw? Because I know real men, when you say something that strike a chord, they don't give a fuck where you at. They football field or not, send me my $30,000 fine. I'm taking this shot. I watch Trent. You want to know who's a real man? Trent Williams a real man. That's a real man. That's a guy that if you said something to him and he ain't like it, he was going to choke you up or he was going to punch you. And he would take the fine and eat it. He didn't give a fuck about the fine. They didn't give a fuck. You talking to reporters about what you think another man said, or what you feel another man said, bruh, y'all y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. And this is real talk, right? I mean, we go through some real life stuff. Everybody going through something at some point. I get it. You know, but pull the guy over to the side and be like, hey, man, you know, I know this is football. And some of the stuff you said, man, I don't appreciate it. And I just want to come to you like a real man just to address the situation. I think you're a great player. Love what you're doing out here. You know, but maybe try to come at it from a different angle. Don't bitch out. Sorry. Don't bitch up and be like, he a hoe. How he a hoe? He's sleeping around? Okay, then he a hoe. Cool. No doubt. For sure. If he's sleeping around, but then how you label him as a hoe? How you know he's sleeping around? What'd he say? He slept with all your sisters? I don't get it. I don't know what he said, but that pissed me off. And I went to bed last night. Like, I'm mentally just depleted. So after the game, everything shuts down. I'm going through something mentally, and I needed space. So that's why you don't see me as much as y'all used to see me. And I'm working my way back there, I promise. But this point right now, I just got to mentally just remove myself because all that stuff, it's not good for my spirit. It's not good for my mental. And so I'm just like, bro, like I'm watching grown-ass men get mad at what a person said. I even respect Trayvon Mooreg for punching him in the nuts because he didn't like what he said and he punched him in the nuts. I respect it. And he took a suspension. I respect it. I respect that. What I don't respect is you going to the media and putting this man's stuff out there on blast. That's some rat bastard shit if I ain't never heard of it, bro. Good luck to your career for the rest of your career, man. You on the end of your career anyway. And Myles Garrett, you might want to just stay out of it, dog, because you that dude. But stay that dude and stick to football, bro. Like, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. You might not be a talker. You might not be that. But what you do on the football field, it matters. Trust me. You got 19 sacks and you lead the league, bro. Leave it at that. All right, I'm off of this. I'm good. I'm a woo-saw. I'm great. I'm calming down. All right, let's get back to the game. Let's do because that ain't got nothing to do with the game. Like, after the game, you want to come out and be like, oh, yeah. Yeah, really? Bruh, come on. Let's talk about this team offensively, defensively, and how special teams was the bright spot for the team, you know what I'm saying? And then I want to get y'all, I'll ask a question that I'm going to pose to you guys, you know what I'm saying? So get ready for the question. I'm not going to tell you what it is because y'all start putting it in the chat right now. All right, but let's just recap. I mean, the Niners, here's something interesting, and I got to give the team a round of applause. The Niners scored in every quarter. They put up points in every quarter. 7 in the first, 3 in the second, 7 in the third, 9 in the fourth, which gave them 26 points. They had a failed 2-point conversion. We could talk about that, but they scored in every quarter. Now, I think if we had to ask ourselves, man, where was this team lacking? I think everybody would raise their hand and say offensively. I think, and that's fair. That's fair. Niners didn't run the ball well. Cleveland defense, that's the only thing I'll give them credit for. They showed up when they weren't moaning and complaining, right? They showed up. Cleveland's defense did exactly what we thought their defense was going to do. They took away the run game from Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan tried to stick with it. I don't think there was any explosive run plays on the ground, but at the end of the day, the quarterback came through. Brock Purdy came through when he needed to come through, not only with the 2 passing touchdowns, but the rushing touchdown, right? Like, I mean, you get, well, excuse me, the 1 passing touchdown to Juwan Jennings, but he also had a rushing touchdown, right? And so, like, Brock Purdy mental looked a lot better than it did because this guy didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't turn the ball over, and he was only sacked 1 time. And it was Trent Williams gave up the pressure, but it was timing, right? Nobody was open. He didn't really evade the pocket because you had Colton McKivit's guy right in front of his face, and then Trent Williams' guy coming from the blind side. So, yeah, it was Myles Garrett. I got to give Brock Purdy credit, and I got to give Brock Purdy a round of applause. I thought Brock Purdy I thought his play was night and day. And if the injury to his foot, he's not 100%, but if the injury to his foot is still nagging him, you could tell he's just going out there like a G, like a warrior, and just toughening it up. 16 for 29, so 29 pass attempts, 16 for 29, 168 yards. Had the passing touchdown to Juwan Jennings, had the rushing touchdown for himself. His longest was 33, and we got to talk about that throw and catch to George Kittle. because the throw, Brock was still trying to push the ball down the field, but the difference between this day and the week and Monday night was he wasn't forcing it. He was finding man coverage. You didn't see 2-3 people around the ball when he was, except for once. He threw it to Juwan Jennings, and it was single coverage. But by the time that ball got to Juwan Jennings, it looked like 3 men were around it. But other than that, man, I liked what I saw from Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy literally, helped carry the offense. I think this was a week where Brock actually carried the offense. They had short field position from time to time. Christian McCaffrey gets the first touchdown offensively. Brock dials it up, I think, on a 3rd down and darts it to Juwan Jennings in the end zone in the red zone. What did the Niners do in the red zone of this game? Let me see if I can find that information, because the Niners are a really good red zone team. That's what they have become, over the past several weeks. The Niners in the red zone this week, they were 3 for 5, 60%. Now, they've been 80 plus, right? And so they took a little dip. But they got there 5 times, and they couldn't get in all 5 times. 4 out of 5, they would have been at 80%, but I'll take 60%. So the Niners offense, to me, was probably the weakest link. They got opportunities and they couldn't capitalize off of them. Not every time. And so it's still too stagnant for me. It's still too stagnant for me. But I didn't think that Brock Purdy played bad. That's a great thing. I think Cleveland's defense came out to stop the run. I think they stopped the run. Cleveland's defense did exactly what they were supposed to do, right? And then after Cleveland's defense did what they were supposed to do, Brock was trying to figure out other ways to move the ball. Offensive line, I mean, you can say they gave up a lot of pressures, but you're playing against a team that I think is leading the league in sacks. I mean, so you knew the pressures were coming. I don't know if anybody was like surprised or what. Like, this was going to be a game of pressures. Like, the offensive line gave up tons of pressures. I think you had, not Christian McCaffrey. Did he give up a pressure? Looked like he did. I know he had a couple of good blocks though. Now, Christian McCaffrey was actually the best blocking guy. But as far as pressures, you had Spencer Burford, Trent Williams with 4, Colt McKivitz with 3, right? These are the pressures. Colt McKivitz with 3, Jake Brendel with 2, Dominic Pooney with 2, and then the pressures stopped. And most of Trent Williams' pressures were hurries. I said that yesterday on the watch party and on the bleacher. I said, they were mostly hurries. I mean, he gave up the 1 sack, but most of his joints, were had 1 hurry and a couple of hits. Look, Trent was struggling. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say Trent was good. Trent was struggling. Let's just keep it a buck. Trent didn't have a good game. But I think the offensive line did enough. 15 total pressures, 11 hurries, 3 hits, 1 sack. So however you want to chalk that up. 15, is that a lot? Okay, 15, it's a lot. 15 on 29 dropbacks? Cool. So 15 on 29 dropbacks. He was pressured 15 times on 29 dropbacks. So it is what it is. But it was Brock made a lot of plays. That's why I felt like that's why Brock works well with this offensive line. I think Brock works well with this offensive line because his ability to move the ball. I'm going to be honest. Last Monday, I didn't think Brock played great, and I was ready to see Mac. This week, I didn't think Brock played exceptionally well, but he played good enough, and I think if Mac would have played, we would have gave up way more sacks. Because Brock has the ability to escape. And so, hold on. Brock has that ability to escape. So Mac doesn't have that. And so this would have been a worse game. Defensively is where we gonna put the mother freaking stamp on everything, right? Because defensively, I thought they brought the boom, right? And so when you look at this team defensively, you say to yourself, God dang it, how many more players are we going to be missing? Right? How many more? You got injuries in this game. You lose Nick Martin to a concussion, if I'm not mistaken, and he didn't return. And so you're really rocking with, your depth, right? Like rookie depth, like guys that aren't even supposed to be on the football field. When linebacker Curtis Robinson got injured, you went to Jalen Graham. He had to wear the green dot. And I thought he came in and was suffice. But the Niners definitely are depleted defensively. But here's the thing, right? This is why you got to give the round of applause to Robert Saleh. And we know the Browns' offense isn't good. And we're playing against a rookie quarterback. But you got to give credit to Saleh for taking the defense after having a really bad couple of weeks. Got new guys out there, bad couple of weeks, right? And finding a way for them to understand the language to play football. That's what they did. They did it back-to-back weeks. Last week against Carolina, they gave up 9 points. They had interceptions, 2 of them. Jair Brown, right? 9 points. No interceptions this week, but 8 points, okay? 8 points. And they had turnovers, right? A fumble recovery, special teams fumble. We'll get to that. But defensively, the fumble recovery on the 4th down, right? 3 big sacks in this game. Like, all the sacks were for double-digit yards. -11, -10, -13. Like, bam, right? Like, the defense, Clelin Ferrell, what a freaking breath of fresh air. Like, the Niners, I don't know how he has to be signed. He can't leave the roster now. Because I feel like this day was his last elevation. Last elevation was this game. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but you got to find a way to keep Clelin Ferrell in the mix. He's that kind of key piece you're going to need. He might not produce every single week, but man, this kid is finding ways to turn up. You get what I'm saying? Not 1, but 2 sacks. You finally getting that production from Keion White, the trade that you made from to the New England Patriots. He's getting sacks. He's getting into the backfield. You're getting tackles for a loss. I do want to focus on how well I thought the defense played, though. Now, areas that they still struggle are going to be missed tackles. So trust me, I'm mad. Missed tackles is bad. That's fundamentals. Some missed tackles you can kind of understand. I think Jair Brown had a couple, and we're going to check. But the missed tackling, 15 missed tackles in this game. That will probably be the weakest link of this 49ers defense just moving forward. Too many young players. Probably why you're getting missed tackles. Upton Stout, 3. Malik Mustafa, 2. Jair Brown, 2. Keion White, 2. Curtis Robinson, 2. Alfred Collins, D. Winters, Jason Pinnock, and Demo all had 1 missed tackle. You total it all up, you get 15. The Niners got to be better because you're going to play better teams. And a lot of those missed tackles were forced by Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, boom, 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 boom. Now, defensively, if I got mad at any point in this game, from the defense, it was on the touchdown. Because the defense at that point had not given up any explosive plays. None. They might only gave up 2 the whole game. That pass, and I think the 17-yard run by Quinshon Judkins. They had not given up any explosive plays. And when you watch the game and you see Luke Gifford lost, I'm like, bruh, he's got to be the worst coverage linebacker. As a matter of fact, Luke Gifford played. I usually don't do this. I usually don't. I'm not that type of person, but I like to call out what I see. According to PFF, Luke Gifford only played 9 snaps in the game. Just 9. Just 9. Right? 7 were against the run. That means the other 2 were coverage snaps. And on the coverage snap, he gave up that touchdown. He is responsible for that touchdown. You can't blame the safety or Renardo Green. Nah, that's on Mr. Giff. Even though they didn't give it to him. They gave it to Renardo Green. I call bullshit. I mean bullcrap. That's on Giff. Now Green and Malik Mustafa had a miscommunication fire. I think one of them was supposed to pick up the tight end. But I just felt like Gifford, who had the lowest coverage grade, 38.7. I felt like he fell down, but even in his falling down, he wasn't even near the tight end. And so maybe it is on Green, right? Maybe that miscommunication was the issue because they got Green for the touchdown. I don't know, man. I just saw him on the ground and I got pissed off and I had to talk it up. That was Luke Gifford right there. And so, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the same thing, but that's what I got, you know. So defensively, if there was any hiccup, that was the hiccup. They also gave us the 2-point conversion. Imagine if Robert Saleh's defense didn't give up that hiccup. Just imagine this game would have been a shutout and we really would be here with our chest out right now. All of us. Poked out, right? Like, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Real freaking talk. We really would be here with our chest out. Unfortunately, we still here with our chest out. It just don't hold the same, weight because Niners was literally pitching a shutout up until that point. You know what I mean? So, look, I love what Robert Saleh is doing. I think I'm starting to see the vision of how great this team would have been as the depth continues to, progress and ascend in the right direction. But now the depth is the starters. And so it's just like, oh man. And so now your rookies and those other guys got to be the depth and they're starting to get along with the program. And so look, our next game defensively, you got to defend the Tennessee Titans, and I think it's definitely a winnable game. And then you got the Colts, and I think that's a winnable game. So, I just feel like Robert Saleh continues to find ways once he gets his paws on the D for them to trend up. And that's why I got to commend the defense. They gave up 8 points. That's 17 points in 2 freaking weeks, y'all. 17 points in 2 weeks from the defense. You gotta stand pat. Let's talk about special teams because I know everybody's like, yo, special teams. Yo, special teams had a 90.2 grade per PFF, and they've probably been in the 90s, for the past couple of weeks. Special teams is, and you know what? Let me just see if I can find that. I want to be careful. Okay, so here we go. Special teams has been playing really freaking well. And you got to look at Brent Boyer and you got to say he was allowed to get rid of play. He gave people chances. He got rid of players he didn't want. I'm going to start with the kicker. I'm going to start with Matt Gay. I'm going to start with Matt Gay's 2 field goals, 25-yard, 31-yard field goal. The 25-yarder gave us a scare. It sounded like he was kicking in the wind and that junk kicked in, out, and then back in. I don't know how it went in, but it went in. We got the points. But you got to commend, because we all scratched our head on the Matt Gay pick, right? Like, we all scratched our head on that. And I think when you look at the Matt Gay situation, you were just like, why are we going to pick up somebody that just got released, blah, 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 whatever. And I think that's just the way the game goes. He was fresh. He was kind of fresh and warmed up at the same time. Ain't like he had to come in and get loose. We did that with Eddie P. Eddie P was the guy that was sitting on the couch. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie P don't come back to Monday Night Football. I think right now you got another kicker that can be elevated one more time. That would be the Tennessee week. You elevate him one more time, and then come Monday Night Football, you bring back Eddie P, and you're hoping the hamstring isn't going to affect him moving forward, because I really feel like when it came to the other kicker we had, Jake Moody, after that injury, he was just never the same. Like, never the same. I'm not saying he was great prior to injury, but after the injury, he was definitely never the same. I think Eddie P has a totally different mentality, different build, different makeup. That's a whole nother conversation. But we'll see what happens with Eddie Pinheiro after the bye week. I think the Niners are going to give Matt Gay one more opportunity. That's just my opinion. And we'll see how that pans out. But special teams, it starts with the kicking, because you're seeing no loss there. You're seeing no loss. You're getting opportunities, and the kickers are nailing the opportunities. That starts with the kicker. That's on the kicker. Let's get to the return game, because I think that's where we are, right? We're at this point in life where we're itching for a special teams return. And I can tell you, it's coming. I promise you, it's coming. It's coming. Shout out to all the members of the Breezie Bunch crew out there, too. It's coming. I promise. It's coming. And Sky Moore, everybody didn't understand the trade. We gave up a 6th-round pick for Sky, and I think we got back a 7th, if I'm not mistaken. But people were like, oh, he's washed, he's this, he's that, whatever. Absolutely. I'm very fond of that saying that one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think I said that right. And Brant Boyer, not Kyle Shanahan. Let's just keep this a buck. Now, we had to use Sky Moore offensively due to the injuries in the wide receiving room. And I will say, when his number was dialed, he showed up. There was only one play where he had, you'd be like, what the hell? It seemed like they were off page. But when you go back and watch that, you'll see, I think Brock was pressured. And so through the timing of where he was running to get the ball, got to go back and watch the film. But when Sky Moore, his number is called, that cat usually shows up for a big catch in a game. It's usually an explosive play down the football field. I'll give him that. Not many reps as a wide receiver, but where you're getting him is on special teams. And this kid has, the 98-yard return, get to the 2-yard line, a 66-yard return. And don't y'all remember how we were with Sky Moore? Like, everybody was like, why is he taking that? He did that in this game, too. I was like, bro, don't ever revert back to the Sky Moore we don't like, right? Let it go in the end zone, let it get down right there. It's okay. If you don't field that ball with good fielding hands and get into no, don't touch it, because God forbid you muff that punt. The faithful would have came after you, dog. I just want you to be clear, Sky. We love you. Just don't fuck it up. That's it. I don't know what else to say. We love him, but just don't mess it up. Boats, let's get to some of these comments. Moore has been a breath of fresh air. Jackson, 49ers saw something in him. Yeah, Brant Boyer. Kudos to the Niners. Freak that. Kudos to Kyle Shanahan for getting coaches that he trusts. I'll leave it at that. Sky isn't hesitating anymore. Howdy. You're right. Cinnamon. Everybody for weeks has been saying Sky's about to break one. Yeah, it's it's so close. It's so close. You know what it is, though, Sky? He runs out of gas. Sky runs out of gas. Sky's got to figure out how to save that NOS. He runs out of gas. And I'm going to give Cleveland, look, I ain't give Cleveland a lot of props, but I got to give credit to where credit's due. You can't tell me that them special teams players didn't take the best freaking angles you've ever seen in your life. They literally ran on an angle as fast as they could to get Sky Moore down. Like that, if the angle was wrong, if the degree of the angle was slightly off, Sky was breaking that for a touchdown. He was breaking it for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? 49er Jeff, hopefully he scores a kick return TD. Yeah, man. And it's not just Sky Moore. It was Brant Boyer removing Isaac Garendo and replacing him with Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. has some 40-yard returns as well. So, you got to love it. Like, you got to love what they're doing on special teams. And can I talk about my boy Darrell Luter Jr., because I know a lot of people don't really know much about this kid, but the muff punt situation and being there and getting down, these guys, these players, man, they're getting opportunities and they're making the best of them. And, I'm not going to say that the Niners forced a muff punt, but you got to put some of that into Thomas Morstead's hands, because he's the one punting the ball and he's trying to make sure that the ball has a certain type of spin on it to where you can't field it properly. But Darrell Luter Jr. being down there and being able to recover that to give his team an opportunity after the Niners just went 3 and out, that was big. That was big. So the Niners overall, I thought, played a hell of a game on the road, and it was a well-coached game. We can scratch our head about play calling for sure. We can do all that. Absolutely. Just remember, the Browns literally took away the run. That was their number one goal, bro. Like, if If I was doing keys to victory for the Browns, it would have been to stop the run. If I take away the run, they didn't even just take away the run. They eliminated Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey didn't have a great game. He just wasn't great. He couldn't get going. Like they literally took away the run. I thought that defensive front was a problem. I thought it was a problem. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, that's what we do here. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm currently not getting those Kyle Williams nightmares with the special teams unit. So that's a good thing. Yeah, man, we getting rid of that cinnamon kiss, like, finally, right? We got a guy, and he knows his role. And I think that's another big part of it, you know. I think Kyle Shanahan, in building this team, was trying to get players that had talent, that had certain skill sets. That'd be number two. And that players that were going to really buy into their role and owning their role. Like, yeah, just own it. Like, own your role. I need you to be a kick returner. I need you to be the punt returner. Okay, coach. If I need you on wide receiver duty, I need you on wide receiver. Okay, coach. You know, just know your roles, man. And when you get the opportunities, go out there and fulfill those opportunities. All right. And that was cool. You know, I thought that was on and popping for the San Francisco 49ers. When you have players in there understanding their roles and everything. Stanley, special teams a plus, not a minus, man. When the last time we said special teams was a plus, bro? Keep it a buck. It's been so long, we don't even know. Right? It's been so long, we don't even know. So I love it, man. Niners 9-4. They are trending up. They're finding ways to win. If I had to describe the San Francisco 49ers with one word, and the word would be resilient. It's resiliency. What was your most memorable moment from the game? I'm going to the chat for this. I'm not giving y'all any hints, but I'm definitely looking to see what you guys got to say. And everybody can have a voice here. Members first. They will get first priority to replies and their comments read. But, man, make sure, you know, you guys, what was your most memorable moment? There were several in this game. All right? Several in this game for sure. And so, like, that's cool. I talked about what I felt like they needed to be better. They had to be better in the red zone. Obviously, they had opportunities. They blew them, things like that. Chrissy, the Kittle catch. Speaking of the Kittle catch, when I tell you the refs be cheating, the refs be cheating. The refs did not know if that was a catch or an incomplete pass. And they took their time trying to figure that out. Now, if it was incomplete, it would have stopped the clock. If it was complete, the clock would have kept running. The Niners had to use a timeout. But because they were unsure, 5 whole seconds came off of that play. 5. Where the Niners, if it was ruled a catch, even though it was ruled a catch, but if they were clear on the catch, you know what I'm saying? Then that play would have had 5 more seconds on the clock. It would have been 9 seconds. The Niners would have took a shot at the end zone before they kicked the field goal. So I'm just saying, like, I be noticing little things like that. You know what I mean? It's crucial. Matthew says the win. You got the win. And the win is definitely memorable, right? Because you on the road. 1984 was the last time the San Francisco 49ers beat Cleveland at home. In their home. 1984. Whew. It's a long time coming. Howdy. The field goal drive before halftime completely changed the mood. Yes, we talking about it right now, dog. Jack Knox, Sky Moore gave us the opportunity to get the CMC touchdown. Yeah, if you want to know who set the tone in the game, Sky Moore. Sky Moore set the tone, said, hey, I got you, faithful. Hey, offense, I got you. I'm going to get y'all good field position. All you got to do is punch it in. Felt like he got to the damn 2-yard line again, right? So, yeah, it is what it is. Mr. Ty, memorable moment, fourth down stop. Seeing C.J. West take on the double block, stand them up. That freed up some guys. Great play by C.J. West. It's the little things. Yo, winning those things at the line of scrimmage, man, is key. right? It's key. And when you're seeing your rookies finally, like, get it, Alfred Collins played a good role. CJ West, good role. Kevin Givens, good role. I mean, never mind the sacks you got from the D line. Like those are the little things. Those little things right there. Those little things that is what you really want to see. You know what I'm saying? Niner faithful, the muffed punt, the looter recovery. Yeah, man, we just talked about that, man. Like looter, heads up. I like when players are playing alert. That's key to me. Cinnamon kiss. Purdy's touchdown, and then the Dougie. That was a half Doug too. Like that was a half Dougie, but I loved it. I love that Purdy is showing the other side, the fun side of football. I think Purdy is showing that fun side of football for sure. Fun side of football. All right, I got to some members. I want to get to some people that aren't members that are just subscribers. JJ catch in the end zone from Brock Purdy's bullet. That was a dart. And when he threw it, you knew it was going to be a touchdown because it was a dart. That touchdown, that was definitely memorable. Definitely memorable for sure. So I definitely loved the scores. I loved how CMC was able to punch it in, and he got in so quick, strong, and fast. I was like, damn, who scored? So I like that CMC is continuing to run hard, even with the amount of hits that he's getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with the amount of hits that he's taking, like, you gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? Corey says, Wayne Breezie, my moment was the second half, was the creating the 2 turnovers. Yeah. So, like, that fourth down on that 4th and long, the Niners would have, well, that 4th and short, excuse me, because they fumbled the ball, right? The Niners would have got the ball back regardless because they would have made the tackle. But you got to give, and you know what? I'll trash Luke Gifford all episode. I got to give him credit for playing heads up. I can't give my man Jarrell Luda Jr. credit for playing alert football and not give Luke Gifford credit for playing alert football. So the alert football is great. You got to give those guys credit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you got to give them, you got to give those guys credit. So that's what I got from that. But a lot of memorable moments in the game. If you guys, what was your overall grade for the team? Overall grade. I didn't go over PFF grades. You can find that on my X, right? I posted the top 5 on the X. Offensively, top 5, I believe it was George Kittle. Defensively, it was D. Winters, if you wanted to know who had the highest grades, offensively and defensively. Yeah, those would be your top, out of your top 5 players. But what's your overall grade for the team? All right, my man Brunel, B. All right, listen, B. I like it. B minus. I'm curious to know what y'all weakest links was. Like, what gave you B minus? Because for me, it was like a B because the offense wasn't good. Like, it was good enough to win, but it didn't look good. It didn't look. Not saying it needed to look Purdy. I'm just saying they didn't look like they had a rhythm. They weren't in sync. They got good field position, and they scored when they had good field position. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I got. E. Knight says 57 can play the run. He's a great run defender. Great run defender. The issue is pass coverage. Navarre News, A- this weekend. They did what they needed to do. D slipped one time. You talk about giving up that explosive play. I agree with you. B, from Max Samuels. All right, we got a lot of B's. You know what I'm saying? Stanley Harris, the Purdy touchdown because the toe is feeling better. Yeah, I don't know if it's feeling better or not, but man, it looked like it was feeling better for sure. He's going to get a whole week off to rest on that toe, too. That's kind of crazy. Jerry with a B plus from Corey. Special teams, A. Offense was trash in the first half. I didn't want to say it because when I say trash, people get such a negative connotation from when I use the word trash. So I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it. Here it is, Max. When I talk about, this is what I was talking about earlier on the show. If you missed the show, I was trying to tell everybody, the Cleveland Browns defense was for real. Like, the other defense that we played that can match what the Cleveland Browns did was the Houston Texans. We lost that game. I don't know if y'all remember that. We got beat. We didn't lose this game. We did not lose this game. So, yeah, man, loved it. The Browns defense is number 2, and they were great against the run. A- when you play complimentary football on all 3 sides. What a great grade, right? What a great recap to that. You know what I'm saying? A great comment. Jax Knox, A-. Tanisha, A plus, because we finally won a game in their stadium after all those years. Plus, it was a morning game. It was an early afternoon game for us on the East Coast, morning game for you guys out there on the West Coast. 1984 was the year. The Niners haven't won there since. I want to put that out there. They haven't won there since 1984. They didn't play many times, but every time they went to Cleveland, last time we went to Cleveland, what we did, we lost 1917, right? I think I remember that game. Jake Moody missed the field goal. Brock Purdy looked like trash. Trent Williams got hurt. I remember it. I do. Miss Peachy, B, another solid B. A minus from reps. I feel like I got a whole few more to go. You know what I'm saying? A few more. But yeah, like when you look at the game, I just know overall the Niners did what they needed to do to get the win on the road. I think that's what's most important. The good news is they return home against the Tennessee Titans. Home is where I feel we struggle. And I'm hoping after this bye week, they get it all together and they put it all together and they find a way to be dominant at home. Being dominant on the road is key, but letting cats know they're not going to come into your house and do what they want to do is even more key. I can't wait to see what the game plan is going to be versus the Tennessee Titans. And I already got us going 10-4. And if you got us going 10-4, put the thumbs up, put the high fives up, put everything up. It's 10-4. It is what it is. The Niners will beat the Titans after their bye week. I'm speaking it now. I already know I'm expecting all the experts to either have 9-1 or 10-0. Ain't gonna be nothing else. 9-1, 10-0. It's gonna be that one lone wolf, probably Colleen Wolf. Like you look what happened when you picked the Browns. I guarantee you the Niners won't lose to a rookie quarterback this year. Did we lose to a rookie quarterback this year? We ain't gonna lose. If we did, we ain't lose to another one. I'm gonna leave it at that. Guys, it's been real. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for all the comments. Shout out to all the members of the Breezie Bunch crew for showing your support, being members of the channel. Shout out to all the subscribers out there as well. I see all nothing but thumbs up. Like 10-4 sound really good. You get the 10-4, right? You get the 10-4. You kind of feeling 13-4 coming, right? Like, right? You look at the Colts. Colts didn't look good. Maybe they had a bad game, but they didn't look good. They lost Sauce Gardner probably for the season. That's a plus for the Niners. Not wishing injuries or anything. But you look at the remaining of the schedule and you be like, shit. 13-4 is starting to look bright, but it starts after the bye week. And after the bye week, that's where the Niners get to go home and they get to do their thing. And so let's see what happens in that Titans game. And you know, we'll be here for it. I'll be here bringing you coverage like usual. Love y'all, man. Stay up, stay faithful. Always keep it faithful to the base. Shout out to all the members again, those that gifted members. I appreciate you guys. Oh, I wanted to leave the show with Nigel's question. Did you talk about Garrett smiling at Purdy? Was that when he scrambled out of a sack? Yes, it was. So no, I did not talk about it. But to answer your question, that was after he scrambled out of a sack because he knew he had him, which he did. But that's the difference of having a Brock Purdy back there opposed to a Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? My only issue with Brock is if he's unhealthy, take a chill pill, dog, because we need you. You're the future. They're paying an insurance plan for the present. And so that was my only gripe. If Brock isn't healthy enough to play football, take a seat, let Matt come in here and do it, and we live with what we get out of the insurance policy. But if Brock is healthy and he can go out there and play, man, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely all freaking for it. Love y'all. Keep it faithful to the Bay. We out. Peace. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.